I guess we're no longer dealing with the average Sailor Guardian anymore? Hey guys, DB Rai here, and today we are continuing with What If Sailor Moon Was in Dragon Ball Z? And I do apologise if I sound like I'm in a little bit of pain here, because, well, I did have a couple of falls today on the board. Anyways, enough about that. This isn't skateboard time, this is What If time. Stay focused! Alright, so where we last left off, Perfect Sailor Cell, Sailor Perfect Cell rather, was defeated by Gohan and Chibiuza. Mind you, thanks to Usagi transforming from Eternal Sailor Moon into Neo Queen Serenity and providing that extra power they needed to topple the Titan. The bottom line is, Cell is defeated, Chibiuza is back in her own little time zone where she came from. Yes, her time zone is like her future, where she comes from, is still intact perfectly from the original Sailor Moon series. It's a pocket dimension, just like future Trunks' reality. And just like the future reality that's yet to come in the main timeline, which is where our story is taking place. Alright, so enough of the timey-wimey stuff. Unfortunately, I do not have a whiteboard to draw out the diagram, so we're just going to have to go with it and continue with the story. But don't worry, we haven't seen the last of Chibiuza yet. In fact, she's about to make an appearance real soon with a few other surprises with her. Alright, so moving on. So we have the Sailor Starlights, along with their princess, have now finally returned to their home, along with Sailor Galaxia, who has returned all the star seeds to all the planets that she has taken them from, and has restored all the planets and all the people who were living there. So the galaxy has been restored to normal. And, well, the good thing about this is, well, I suppose Goku isn't dead in this timeline, so he actually got to witness the birth of little Goten and is still a part of the boy's life. And, well, Chi-Chi cannot refuse Goten, especially since he looks a lot like his father, to train, but she's still very insistent on Gohan doing his studies. But don't worry, I have a feeling once Goten gets a bit older, then yes, it's going to be, you know, hopefully with Chi-Chi wanting Goten to study, but hopefully with Army being around, who often babysits Goten, when Goku and Chi-Chi sort of want to go out on a fly on the Nimbus Cloud or something. Army's always around to help Gohan with homework and making sure that the boys are having a steady life. After all work and no play can make someone dull, am I right? Even Army Mizuno knows that. In fact, the nice beautiful lakes and rivers by Mount Paozu, she loves taking a swim in there. And is very, amused watching the boys fish. And, well, now that Usagi, since we're now coming up the years are beginning to catch up, Goten and Trunks are beginning hanging out, which does prove to be a bit more of a handful for Army when she's babysitting the two. And, well, we now come to Usagi and Mamoru's wedding. Now that they're of legal age, Mamoru marries into the Kingdom of Silver Millennia, which means now, just like Sailor Moon, after they both hit the age of 22, they're not going to get any older. Same with Sailor Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. They're all part of the new Silver Millennia, which means they're not going to get any older. And over time, once planet Earth becomes the fully actually becomes the new kingdom of Silver Millennia. In other words, Crystal Tokyo. Essentially, pretty much everyone is going to have eternal youth. So how about that, Vegeta? You're going to be able to fight forever. Goku is going to be able to fight forever. And once Gohan and Goten hit 22, they're not going to get any older either. Videl, Bulma, and Chi-Chi will stop aging the way they are right now, so perhaps Bulma will not have to sneakily use the Dragon Balls to reduce her youth back every 5 years. You know how she does that in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie? No need for that anymore. And well, over the next 7 years, the new kingdom of Silver Millennia is secretly established. Although most of the public is not aware of it, because would they really understand it? No. Probably not. So, basically, as we know from history, they're in charge of watching over the planet. And, so, the 7 years have now come and gone, and it is now time for Gohan's first day of high school. However, just a few days before that, Mamoru and Usagi have received a visitor. And yes, Sailor Chibi is no longer there too. She's gone back to wherever she came from. But however, Chibiuza has now returned, who is like a spitting image of what Usagi looked like as a teenager at the birth. And has the same sort of hairstyle she had when she was Black Lady. So, but good version, and wearing a school uniform. And well, what? But since Usagi has enrolled her into Orange Star High School, she doesn't need to wear a uniform, just has to wear that Orange Star badge, so she can dress the way she wants. So Gohan's gonna have a little surprise waiting for him as he endures his first day of school, when he is reunited with Chibiuza. And basically it's kind of interesting, because well, rather than take the seat next to Eraser with Videl's group, he's taking the seat next to Chibiuza. And of course, with her sudden return, this could mean trouble on the horizon, so he's curious to why he's there. And Gohan is also introduced to 4 other strangers. The Sailor Quartel. You may remember them from the Dead Moon Circus Quartel. You may remember back in previous parts how they were meant to be awakened as Sailor Chibi Moon's bodyguards once Chibi Moon becomes a fully fledged Sailor Guardian, which she now has. She is now the new Sailor Moon. And the Sailor Quartel are basically in charge of protecting Princess Usagi Tsukino, who is now the new Princess Serenity, who is Chibiuza. If Nappa were here, he'd be saying, "I'm so confused right now." But you get it. Her own guardians have accompanied with her to this timeline. And well, this has made adjusting to high school a little bit easier for Gohan. At least there's someone he knows here. However, it more or less doesn't stop him from getting into a bit of trouble, overusing his powers. So he and Chibiuza decide to stop within Bulma, and they give him a bit of a disguise. And well, since the Sailor Guardians are actually established as superheroes in this timeline, Chibiuza doesn't need a new disguise. She can just transform. With her and the Sailor Quartet basically assisting the great Seiya Man in his exploits. Such as stopping those two dangerous drivers. Driving dangerously is a serious offense and you could get yourself and others hurt. So be careful next time, okay? Okay, whatever you say, Mr. Seiya Man. Here, you might want this steering wheel back. Good sir. Gotta get going, bye! And, well, with, that, he's, a bit more closely introduced to Videl as well, because, well, Eraser sort of has an eye on the new boy, and, as we know secretly, so does Videl. And, so, I don't know, I suppose this is pretty rough for Gohan. Three girls tearing at him. And of course there's that other one girl as well, but she's filler, so we're gonna skip that. But once Gohan is under the realization that Videl is Hercule's daughter, he was worried that she might get hurt under these, chasing criminals and doing the hero thing herself. But she's not doing this out of some idolization for her father this time around. Nah, she's more interested and pretty much idolizes the Sailor Guardians. Gohan is actually stopping is actually the bus jacking incident with Videl. So he has to, tap his feet, causes a bit of an earthquake, and Chibiuza didn't actually catch on right away that it was Gohan doing this. So by the time she realized that Gohan's already gone on his way to the bus jacking, and he ends up saving Videl much like he does in the original story. And of course, this just fuels Videl's desire to unmask Gohan and who he is. But by the time Chibiuza actually got to the scene herself, it was all settled and finished. Oh, you're hugging all the glory for yourself. Great Seiya Man. Oh, no need to fear, Sailor Moon. I'm sure you will have your chance soon. Now, justice prevails! Great Saiya Man flying off, and yeah. It's pretty much quite a restless adventure for Gohan when Videl's chasing him with her plane, trying to unmask him, and then you got Chibiuza who shows up to essentially blind Videl and stop her from doing this. Everything pretty much playing out to the whole circus incident when little Chobi the dinosaur is kidnapped, and eventually Videl working out his identity anyway, and you pretty much get the identity of Chibiuza is pretty much discovered. Also, because they're always sort of together. Videl's not an idiot. Far from it. And so she wants to challenge them both in the World Martial Arts Tournament, and of course she wants to learn how to fly as well. Remember, Chibiuza knows how to fly as well. She was taught during her time in Dragon Ball. In fact, her Sailor Guardian bodyguards can also fly, because she taught them. So, well, with that pretty much going on as per normal, except you got Goku involving himself with Videl's training as well. It's training. I gotta be involved. I'm Son Goku. I'll show you how to fly, Videl. Don't you worry. And of course, Videl quickly realizes that she's pretty much outmatched if she actually tries to fight these guys in the tournament. But After spending some time with Gohan, Chibiuza, and actually slowly being introduced to all the other Sailor Guardians, and she hasn't met Vegeta, Krillin, Piccolo, or Android 18 or any people like that yet. Just the people who pretty much associate with Goku and Gohan at the moment, which is pretty much all the Sailor Guardians, and well, yeah, no, not at this point in time. No, we haven't really met Krillin yet. But that's okay. All that is about to change when we get to the day of the tournament and we get the whole Videl meeting everyone else, especially after Vegeta decides to smash the qualifying device. And, well, things begin to sort of feel weird again once they run into two strange individuals of Kibito and Supreme Kai. And, who introduces himself to the Dragon Team and the Sailor Guardians, because they've got quite a reputation now too. Except, you can imagine the Kais are trying to keep their trap shuts about it, especially when it comes to like Beerus and Grand Zeno. But nothing they can do to change it, so yep, keep it under wraps, guys. So, with pretty much with that, and the junior division ending like it does in the original, with Trunks winning the tournament, and giving Hercule his champion's greeting right into the brick wall and humiliating him. Hercule pretending it's part of the show. Ha 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 ha! What a punch, man! And so, we pretty much begin the adult version, the adult division, where just like in the original, Piccolo gives up. Now this time, there are more contestants in the tournament. You actually got the Sailor Guardians, apart from Army, who's Army, who's decided to sit it out. She'd rather only fight when she has to, sort of thing. But everyone else has been keen to enter the tournament as well. So you got Transform, Sailor Mars, Jupiter, Mercury. Not Mercury, sorry, I said she was out. Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn. They're all participating in the tournament. And Usagi, she's in the stands watching, with everyone else who's watching. Mamoru's watching as well. And, well, the tournament gets underway. However, there are two other familiar people there. For some reason, Taiki and Yaten are there as well. Two of the Starlights. But there's something different about them. Something, dare I say, sinister. They're looking almost grey in the face, and veins popping out of them, and rib cages exposed. It's pretty, they're looking like they're almost anorexic, and they've got a mysterious M symbol on their head. What's this about? The others try to go up to them and say hello, but this sensation, this energy they're sensing from them is telling them, don't go near them. And who are they here? They are wondering, where's Seiya? But don't worry, that answer is going to be coming crashing down soon, as after we actually get Videl going against Taiki, and she ends up beating Videl within an inch of her life, in a very similar fashion to what Spopovich does to her in the original. Not quite as bad, but still, it's pretty brutal. However, Taiki does only beat her to the point that she's going to win the match. If Videl wasn't as stubborn, she would have not gotten as hurt. So Gohan is, I guess you could say, is less furious this time around. So he's not going to, blow Taiki away or anything like that. But he is planning on evening the score for Videl just the same. Couldn't believe that someone he once called a friend would do this to one of his new friends. But it's obvious, beyond obvious, there is something wrong with those two. And well, once it becomes Gohan and Kibito's turn to fight, Taiki and Yaten suddenly attack Gohan with their attacks first as a distraction. Star Gentle Uterus, boom, and then what's the other one? Star something Inferno from Yaten, and then they grab Gohan and they stab him, much like Spobovich and Yamu do in the original timeline. You're probably wondering, why would Taiki and Yaten become margins? Well, we are going to get that explanation because pretty much when Supreme Kai starts chasing after everyone else and Goku goes with him and Kibito starts healing Gohan, right after Gohan heals, suddenly something comes crashing down into the arena. And who is it? It is a wounded and damaged Seiya. Yaten! Taiki! They have to be stopped! Bobbity! Margin! And she sort of faints. Oh well, another someone for Kibito to heal. And I think this is a pretty cool place to leave things for now. So what do you guys think? You enjoying this part of the story? I bet you didn't expect to see two members of the Sailor Starlight starting off as villains. I gotta admit, I thought that was pretty cool. So well, I hope you enjoyed this. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.